Last month's historic handshake between President Trump and Kim Jong-un is losing some of its promise as North Korea issues what sounds like an ominous warning to the United States. Brian Todd has been looking into this for us. Brian, what are you learning?
Wolf, tonight Kim Jong-un's regime is once again engaging in negotiation by intimidation. Its latest threat has officials and analysts asking whether Pyongyang is about to walk away from diplomacy.
Tonight, it appears all of this
Stepping across that line was a great honor.
may have been for naught. Just 2 weeks after their historic meeting at the DMZ and President Trump's short stroll into North Korea, North Korea's dictator Kim Jong-un appears to be threatening to start testing his nuclear weapons again. In a new statement, Kim's foreign ministry calls the joint U.S.-South Korean military exercises planned for next month a breach of the main spirit of what President Trump and Kim agreed to in Singapore, and says we are gradually losing our justifications to follow through on the commitments we made with the U.S.
Kim Jong-un has been friendly and smiled with Donald Trump, but what we're seeing with these statements is a more normal North Korean negotiating technique, which is to point a gun at the other guy's head and say, do what we want, or we will, launch missiles, test nuclear weapons. So it's all about leverage.
Today, President Trump seemed unfazed about the new threat.
The relationship is very good. I think we've made tremendous progress on North Korea. And again, time is not of the essence, but I think good things will ultimately happen.
Kim's regime apparently doesn't see it that way, calling those U.S.-South Korean military drills, quote, a rehearsal of war aimed at militarily occupying our republic by surprise attack. It's not the first time Kim's regime has objected to the joint military exercises. But why does the regime always frame them as practice for an invasion?
One reason is they're paranoid. I mean, the entire North Korean regime is built on paranoia. But the other reason is they want to try to use that as leverage to get the U.S. to weaken its readiness, to weaken its alliances.
Despite the pageantry and promise at the Singapore summit last year, when Kim made his initial vague promise to get rid of his nuclear weapons, despite the dramatic images at the DMZ and words of friendship, by CNN's count, North Korea has made no fewer than 12 direct or implied threats since Singapore to pull out or walk back from the diplomatic process, even as Kim appears to maintain his personal connection to Trump.
I think that the spin that is occurring from Pyongyang is any concessions that do occur are because of their threats. Second of all, there does seem to be this belief on the part of Kim Jong-un that he and Trump may actually have some kind of relationship.
Still, analysts say while North Korea may not be planning to get rid of its nuclear program anytime soon, the idea it could restart testing soon may be less of a solid promise and more of an empty threat.
I think they probably won't do it. China would come down on them very, very hard. For now, they're getting a bit of a pass from the Chinese because they're engaged in dialogue.
While the president shows patience with North Korea, his aides are sending a tougher signal to Pyongyang. A senior administration official telling CNN tonight U.S. sanctions are going to stay in place until Kim Jong-un fulfills his commitment to completely denuclearize. And that same official indicated that those joint military exercises with South Korea are not about to be canceled, saying they're purely defensive in nature.
Wolf, Brian Todd, thank you very much.